Welcome to Cloud A Programming of Learning Experiences. Our grade school offers programs in nursery, kindergarten, primary grades 1 to 3, and intermediate grades 4 to 6. The emphasis of nursery and kindergarten is holistic development of key skills in communication, literacy, and cognitive development through exploratory and discovery activities. The program would run into a series of learning engagement periods for the week. The delivery of domains in the nursery and kindergarten is done through discovery, exploration, and meaningful play. The grade school also offers programs in robotics, ICT, and math score. Conference with parents and briefing on daily learning tasks may be conducted through video conferencing before the conduct of synchronous classes during the first few weeks of classes, as children are trained in the routine of learning activities. Further, learning plans and modules will be provided before the start of the grading period to guide students and parents on the different tasks and activities to be performed on a daily basis. The junior high school curriculum offers special programs in Mandarin, robotics and ICT programming, math enrichment courses, scientific investigation courses, and math score. It promotes mastery of learning competencies across subject areas of languages, mathematics, sciences, humanities, ICT, and question formation education. Special programs target the enrichment of competencies with 21st century skills of programming, coding, engineering, and creativity through maths and sciences. The senior high school program offers an enriched STEM program to help students become better prepared for any degree program in college, with specific advantage in the following specialized tracks. For health sciences, we have human anatomy and physiology and biochemistry. For IT, engineering, and architecture, we have technical drafting and web design and programming. For business and accounting, we have fundamentals of accounting 1 and 2. And for general academic, we have logic and critical thinking and law and governance. The AUF Senior High School program content and delivery is unique. It is benchmarked with the curricular programs offered by top-performing countries in PISA. Class programming is made easy. Each class will have 3 components in their class schedules: learning engagement periods or class periods for each subject area, class webinar programs scheduled within the class schedule, and after-class guided activities. This is an example of a class schedule for nursery which provides for strong collaboration and partnership towards student success. The program would run into a series of learning engagement periods for the week. The delivery of domains in the nursery and kindergarten is done through discovery, exploration, and meaningful play. The grade school also offers programs in robotics, ICT, and math score. Conference with parents and briefing on daily learning tasks may be conducted through video conferencing before the conduct of synchronous classes during the first few weeks of classes, as children are trained in the routine of learning activities. Further, learning plans and modules will be provided before the start of the grading period to guide students and parents on the different tasks and activities to be performed on a daily basis. The schedule of the primary grades allows for learning engagement activities and after-class enrichment and remediation activities, including mentoring, coaching, and conferences with parents during the after-class periods of the students. This allows for proper support and accommodation to address the learning needs and context of our students. As we train the students in the grade school for maximum learning opportunities, schedules include learning engagement periods for the different subject areas, with homeroom and guidance program for wellness and support for student learning. In the intermediate, the after-class work includes scheduled class webinar for presentation of key concepts with proper guidance and supervision, and elective enrichment or remediation courses the students can choose in order to bridge learning gaps or take advantage of lessons in specific fields of interests. Programming, as in the example of a morning class, there are specific learning areas scheduled accordingly on a weekly basis, adjusted to fit the needs and wellness of students. The after-class program, which is also part of the student's class schedule, includes class webinars for proper delivery of learning content, and after-class guided activities where students can choose from a variety of interesting and exciting courses of interests or elective courses. Students may take courses that bridge their learning gaps or problems in a particular subject area, or take advanced lessons in specific learning areas of their choice. As we want to enhance students' learning potentials vis-a-vis balanced programming and wellness, students' learning areas or subjects are properly scheduled with class webinars and after-class guided activities for support for learning. Students during this period may choose from a variety of learning courses that would enhance their knowledge or competence in specific fields of interest, including topics that are taught already in college. Our after-class programs are chosen by students that fit their needs and interests, as well as their contexts. As pointed out, every subject area has learning engagement periods in the class schedule. Each learning engagement period is conducted to accomplish specific learning outcomes and provide quality learning opportunities. A learning engagement period is equivalent to a one-class meeting within the week. Some classes have a maximum of 3 learning periods, but others, especially the performance-based classes, have 1 or 2 learning engagement periods. A learning engagement period may be utilized based on the following nature of the teaching-learning process. Exposition of concepts. This learning engagement activity is focused on the presentation of concepts and content of lessons, conducted primarily through class webinar or lecture, conducted to facilitate understanding. Students attend lectures during their learning engagement period for the subject or through scheduled class webinar outside of the learning engagement period. The advantage of this activity is that students are given control of content and focus on essential things to learn. Maximum participation is sought through technology-facilitated interaction, attendance, and simple tasks that measure basic understanding of students. Enhancement of learning. This period is geared towards enriching students' learning experiences through quality learning interaction with a teacher on a topic or lesson presented during the period of exposition of concepts. This period entails clarification of concepts, question and answer for deeper learning, understanding and critical thinking, accomplishment of learning tasks or goals such as a quiz, essay, reflection, drills or exercises, and providing feedback on students' engagement and performance. The importance of this engagement activity is that there is enough time for students to interact with their teacher, with the students, and work on tasks or activities within their class period. With this, the students will no longer need to have tasks or application activities outside of their class periods. Therefore, there would be no graded homework or activities to be given outside of the student's class programming schedule. As pointed out, the class programming schedule of the student is composed of 3 types of learning opportunities: learning engagement activities or class periods for subject areas, class webinar, and guided class activities for enrichment or elective courses students choose to take. Enrichment and discovery. This is a learning opportunity that is primarily student-oriented, as students work on their student-driven tasks or projects, learning outputs for the grading period, readings for enrichment, and other tasks to foster application of learning with supervision by the teacher. Specific learning outputs include performance outputs, process demonstration, projects, and researches. Students work on their tasks during this period and are supervised by the teacher. Student-driven multidisciplinary tasks are integrated tasks that reduce the number of performance tasks that students need to submit. The tasks are integrated to have one quality learning outputs for all subjects. There may be other outputs that students can accomplish during this period to demonstrate learning in a subject matter or topic. Again, those activities are accomplished not outside the student's class time, but during their learning engagement period for enrichment and discovery. Accommodation may also be provided for students with difficulty accomplishing the tasks during the period by allowing for extension of submission of activity. In that case, the student and the teacher will determine the student's compliance with the task. Advantages: students will have enough learning opportunities during their scheduled class periods to accomplish their tasks and activities. Students will not have graded homework after the class period or class schedules. Students may use their personal time to review, practice, or view class materials which they need based on their context or interests. Students' maximum participation during the learning engagement period is ideal in order to avoid seeking accommodations or extension of submission of class tasks or graded activities. All learning activities, especially the graded ones, are performed during the class period, with enough support from the teacher, providing enough time, readiness, and advice to ace their learning tasks. Early grades will follow discovery and guided learning, with provision for appropriate support before, during, and after their class periods or class programming. A typical day for a student in Cloud A begins with a check-in to join a class. This is in the form of a synchronous learning activity or SLA. Students will normally be oriented about the day's task and activities as presented in their course modules, published in their respective course pages. Students are guided to navigate and explore learning activities through SLA and through their course modules, which are self-sufficient for independent learning and review. The class moves on to the learning activities conducted either through SLA, ALA or asynchronous learning activity, online individualized or collaborative activity or OIC, or an offline on-task learning activity or OTLA. These activities become the channel or means to achieving the desired mastery of learning competencies or content, making the students experience learning. The class ends with a checkout and journal writing. The journal writing is important to make the students reflect on his or her progress with academic tasks for the parents to monitor their students' accomplishments. The journal is a simple log of students' progress and accomplishment for the day. All learning experiences that happen within the students' class hours are further reinforced through appropriate remediation for students who need more time to learn specific content or skills, or enhancement for students with special interests in specific subjects or advanced lessons in a specific subject area. Coaching and mentoring activities further support the student in his academics. As a way of ensuring healthy screen time for our students, teachers regularly collaborate in the programming of their learning engagement activities, ensuring that students' learning activities are balanced. A class webinar provides a scheduled lecture or webinar for all students for a particular subject area to deliver learning concepts and knowledge across all students of the grade level. Each grade level will have one webinar scheduled per week. This webinar is intended for exposition of knowledge and concepts outside the learning engagement period of a subject area, beginning in the intermediate grades of the grade school up to the senior high school. The recording of the webinar will also be provided to students for their asynchronous learning opportunities for review or reference. The maximum length of the webinar is 1 hour, inclusive of introduction, learning outputs or activities, and synthesis of the lecture. The class webinar period has the following features: properly scheduled to provide opportunities to meaningfully present and focus on content of lesson. Empowerment activities to foster good manners and right conduct, peace education and advocacies may be conducted during these periods. May be delivered by alumni or professionals like doctors, nurses or engineers, university professors, university students, subject area teachers, members of the integrated school faculty and personnel, or fellow students with advanced or outstanding knowledge on a particular topic of webinar or lesson. Therefore, this period is geared towards empowering our students not just to learn content, but to gain inspiration and real-life understanding on the topic or lessons that are normally delivered only by the teacher inside the classroom with limited perspectives. Here, the integrated school will utilize the resources and expertise of the university across professional fields, providing our students with deeper knowledge and a variety of perspectives. Elective enrichment courses. These are enrichment programs of academic departments that seek to provide foundational or remediation courses for students with difficulties in specific subject areas, advanced enrichment courses for students with specific interests or advanced skills in specific learning areas, and special skills in science, technology, or research. Elective enrichment courses are selected by students depending on his or her academic needs. Coaching and mentoring. This learning opportunity provides guidance, remediation, accommodation, or consultation on particular lessons or activities in which a student or a group of students have had difficulties or challenges. Student welfare mentoring and conferences. This opportunity provides support for learning and wellness of students through conferences which may be initiated by the teacher, the student, or the parent. The student may also use this opportunity to consult with his or her guidance counselor or advisor. There will be no modification in the assessment of learning for nursery and kindergarten classes since assessment is qualitative. For grades 1 to 12, considering the given context, the integrated school will assess the same components of the student's grade as before. However, there will be a modification by combining relevant components and their weight values. All cognitive and critical thinking and periodic assessment will be combined, including their weight values. Enabling mastery and application of learning will likewise be combined, including their weight values, depending on a particular subject. The summation of components will be transmuted following the same process. A mentoring and coaching activity for parents and guardians in the execution of learning activities for nursery, kindergarten, and primary grades of the grade school is part of the program delivery. It will be regularly conducted before the beginning of a grading period or lesson or as needed. Level of involvement refers to the level of supervision in the student's attendance and completion of tasks. A strong collaboration and partnership entails that the parent or guardian is around during the session. Moderate to very minimal supervision, on the other hand, entails supervising whether the student follows the schedule and complies with learning tasks. Other support systems are structured and unstructured conferences with students and parents. Structured conferences are routine conferences to discuss performance, usually during the issuance of cards. Unstructured conferences are conducted to discuss observations or matters about the student's progress, activities, or challenges. Unstructured conferences may be initiated by the teacher, student, or parent or guardian. This is part of our program primer, so for details on appropriate support, please refer to our Cloud A primer.